We break down all the Cruiserweight action, plus Neeco Macias. It's 15 minutes are over, and Garcia vs Spence is official. Please like and subscribe. Help us hit 10,000 subscribers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to another episode of Friday's Check Hook. Lots of Cruiserweight action to get into. We will find out who is the best Cruiserweight in the world. I think we already know the answer to that, but this should confirm it. Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence is official. March 16th at Jerry's World at Cowboy Stadium. And Neeco Macias is his 15 minutes over. We're going to break all of that down. But let's start with all the Cruiserweight action. Really busy week. Maybe the best week ever for Cruiserweights. And the biggest fight of the weekend, undisputed champion Alexander Usyk is set to defend against Tony Bellew, a.k.a. the Bomber, a.k.a. Ricky Conlan. This is, according to Eddie Hearn, president of Matchroom Boxing, the biggest fight he has ever promoted. And I'm hearing a lot of this from the UK, that they are psyched for this fight. They think this thing is a big deal. Really? I'm not trying to ruin the ending of the movie for you, but Usyk is going to dominate. Look, there's levels to this, right? Bellew isn't that good. Like, he's technically, and his skills are kind of subpar. And I think Bellew's had a good career for someone who's got a very limited skill set. Plus, he's old, okay? There's levels to this, right? Like Usyk's hand speed, footwork, foot speed, his size, his combination punching. It's unique for a dude his size. Like, you don't see guys 6'4", and I know Usyk weighed in at 199, but you don't see guys like Usyk who's going to rehydrate to 220. It's like a 220-pound, 6'4" cat who moves with the hand speed and the combinations of Usyk. You guys are going to sit here and say his power's no good, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You know what I'm saying? He's not looking to sit down on his punches and take a guy out. He's looking to throw combinations, keep moving, keep the hands going, and make you miss. And that's exactly what he's going to do to Bellew. Right? This isn't going to be close. Usyk's going to win every round, and he's going to win every minute of every round. I wouldn't be surprised if Usyk caused a late round stoppage. If he beat him up so bad that they just stopped the fight, either from swelling or, just it being non-competitive. These are not two evenly matched fights, and I'm not against the fight, by the way. But my official prediction is Usyk by one-sided unanimous decision, 120 to 108 type of fight. Like, this isn't even going to be close. Like, it's going to look like Gassiev all over again. But Gassiev's better than Bellew. If Gassiev fought Bellew, who would win? Gassiev would win. And I'm not knocking Bellew. He's had a good career for someone with limited skills. But he has limited skills. Usyk's skills are off the charts. Usyk's skills are just off the charts. Right? Like, he is one of the best cruiserweights of all time. We can get into that and compare him to Holyfield and Kawhi and other cruiserweights, but his name is near the top of that list. Look, he's gonna be the bigger man in the ring when they step into the ring tomorrow. I don't care what the scale said today. When they rehydrate and step into the ring tomorrow, Usyk will be bigger than Tony Bellew. The most Tony Bellew fills up to is about 214-ish is what he weighed in the first hay fight. I think he weighed 210 in the second hay fight. You guys could, but that's as big as he gets. Usyk's a 220-pounder. Look at this guy. I mean, look at him. Holyfield was about a 215-pound heavyweight. He was 6'2.5". 6'3", 215 pounds at his peak when he beat Mike Tyson. Look at Usyk. Usyk's bigger, right? So, look, Usyk's a 220-pounder, period. Kind of small for a heavyweight by today's standard. The heavyweight division is 240, 250, 260 pounders, 300-pounders like Big Baby Miller. But he's big enough, and he's strong enough to hang around. Look, he will outclass Bellew. I think Usyk outboxes Wilder, and I think he could beat Joshua. So he obviously beats Bellew. And he's going to be bigger than Bellew. It's a 120 to 108 kind of fight. Maybe even a late stoppage, but that's not my prediction. My official prediction is the unanimous decision by Usyk. And I get criticized for this all the time, that Usyk, because I'd say Usyk would for sure beat Wilder, and because Wilder's not that much bigger. When they actually step into the ring, Wilder will be taller, but he won't be that much bigger. He won't weigh that much more. And you don't want to bulk Usyk up anymore, right? He's not Evander Holyfield where you want to put him on steroids and get him monstrous and strong. This is how you want Usyk to fight. You don't want to lose any of that flexibility, any of that mobility, any of that hand speed, any of that uniqueness, right? Because you don't see 220. He's a 220 pound Vasily Lomachenko. Think about that. So this is a special, unique skill set. You see, he's at the top half of our pound for pound list. This is a special talent in Usyk, and to think Tony Bellew has any chance is ridiculous. Like, I talked to Matt Hunter on Mixed Combat Radio about this on his show. If Usyk fights Wilder, the game plan is simple. Go win the first 8 rounds, outbox Wilder, and then just stay away from him. Don't entice him, don't go near him, just stay away from him. Because the skill level, the difference between Usyk and Wilder is night and day. And I'm a Wilder fan, I like Wilder, right? I don't pick him to beat Usyk, or I probably don't pick him to beat Joshua. I don't pick him to beat Joshua either, but I do like Wilder. There's no way he beats you. This isn't tough. Both guys are going to weigh about 220. Maybe Wilder weighs 225. But Wilder weighed 214 for his last fight. But that is light for him. So, if Usyk comes into a Wilder fight where he weighs 220, and Usyk weighs 220 and Wilder weighs 225, who cares? 5 pounds in a heavyweight fight is nothing. But I want to get to the other cruiserweight action. Lots of cruiserweight action to get into. Krzysztof Glowacki will be on another card that's in Chicago as part of the Cruiserweight World Boxing Super Series tournament. He's fighting Maxim Vlasov. Glicky will win, all right, but it will be competitive. I keep hearing jokes about Vlasov. Look, he's 42-2. He's obviously on steroids. He's strong and powerful. And the last time he lost was to Gilberto Ramirez. In a fight, he fought him very competitively. He fought him on the Alvarado Rios undercard at 170 pounds. That's how long ago this fight was. This was a fight that many thought he won. So many people thought that he outboxed Zoro Ramirez. So this guy can fight, right? His only other loss was to Isaac Chalamba. This was on ESPN2 back in 2011. A fight he certainly deserved to win. He outboxed Chalamba, knocked him down twice. Okay? Look, I'm picking Glowacki by close and competitive decision. But this is a real good fight. Like I'm not picking Vlasov, but he could win. And all this is going to be one-sided. If this is a blowout, go watch him. If you don't remember the 2 fights I'm talking about, that's fine. Go watch those fights and tell me this guy is no good. Because Vlasov is very good. Do not sleep on him. He can box. He can box and he's got power. But I think Glowacki is really good too. Glowacki's only loss was to Usyk, who's a pound-for-pound elite. Glowacki's a good fighter. Good power, good size. I think he ekes out a majority decision. So I'm going to say majority decision. I'm going to say it's 114, 114, 115, 113, 116, 112. Those are the scorecards. That's the type of fight it was. Where you look at it and say, well, that was a good fight, but look, Glowacki probably won. Like I said, the card is in Chicago. It's headlined by another cruiserweight fight, part of the WBSS, the World Boxing Super Series. Marius Briedis, who many expect him to win the whole tournament, is taking on little-known Armenian fighter who fights out of Germany now, Noel Bivor, who outclassed Isaiah Thomas in his last fight out. That was over a year ago. That was about 14 months ago, so he's been inactive. However, he has an excellent body attack. He fights really, really well on the inside. Throws nice uppercuts and hooks. He throws hooks to the head. He fights really well. He's got a jab that looks good against B-level fighters. It's not going to look good against Bredes. But he attacks the body real well. He fights on the he fights on the inside real well. That's where he's comfortable. And if this is a phone booth fight, he's going to have some success. I just don't think he gets there. He gets to the inside enough to win the fight. He will win rounds, and this will be a competitive fight. But I think Bredes outboxes him from the outside. He's too powerful, too strong just to let him in, and he wins a competitive decision. I'm going to say unanimous decision, somewhere around 116, 112, 117, 111 is what you'll see on the scorecard if there are no knockdowns, which there could be. I'm hearing that both these fights are one-sided. I think Briedis is clearly going to win, but it's a good fight. I think this Glowicki fight, and I'm picking Glowicki, but this could go the other way. This is not a 50-50 fight. Maybe it's a 55-45 kind of fight. This is a good fight. I don't know why people are sleeping on it. So leave your thoughts, comments below, and look, if you guys aren't familiar with these cruiserweights, like most of my U.S. fans aren't, because these guys don't fight in the U.S. and they fight halfway around the world or whatever, check them out. Go watch them on YouTube. That's what I had to do. I remember the Chilumba fight from ESPN's Friday Night Fights. But go back and watch these guys, right? And let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts, comments below. To last night's action, Thursday night's action, and what nonstop action it was. Jose Soto-Karass, longtime warrior, longtime ring veteran. His swan song as he goes away victorious. He walks away like John Elway or Peyton Manning. Rides into the sunset. He defeated fan favorite Neeco Macias in literally non-stop action. He set all types of records for punches landed, punches thrown. And Soro-Karass was actually busier than Neeco was. Believe that? Macias was outworked. It was a 10-round affair, and it broke records of any 12-round fight. That's how many punches were thrown. I think it was in the 6th round where Soro-Karass hit 1,000 punches right through in the 6th round. So through 5+ rounds, but Soto-Karass threw 200 punches, and Beto Duran was like, "No, really?" And he was like, "Yeah, he's throwing 1,000 punches at this point." So it was that kind of fight. I didn't know how to score it. I actually scored the fight even, 95-95, like one of the judges did, but they got overruled by the other 2 judges. Look, there was a record 3,353 punches, and the whole thing was fought in a phone booth. I mean, it was crazy. It was nonstop. The endurance and the stamina on these 2 guys were absolutely insane. They were saying about Osuna and Beto Duran were talking about how the whole entire fight was fought on one side of the ring. Neeco would come out like a shot out of a cannon, and they would just fight against the ropes on that half of the ring. And nothing ever changed. That was 3 minutes of every round for 10 rounds. It was just an endless barrage of punches. Macias goes to 17-1, and he's kind of come out of nowhere to have this cult following, and I want to get into him. Soto-Karass, God bless. Hope you enjoy your retirement. Stay safe. But Macias, he kept up his furious attack, staying on the aggressive. He's built this cult following almost from the ground up, like a grassroots campaign. I think it's done for him, right? He can't beat Soto-Karass. Not only did he lose to Soto-Karass, he lost to him fighting his fight, right? Karass went in there and sat in a phone booth with him. Look, so if he's not better than Soto-Karass, he can't fight any of the top names at 154. Do you know what Hurd or Charlo or Munguia would do to him? Kell Brook or Laura would embarrass him in the ring. But look, he's fun. There's an element of entertainment to watching Neeco. I get it. His fights are entertaining. They're nonstop. It's like watching the Dallas Mavericks from the early 2000s play the Sacramento Kings, where the score would be 150-140, and there'd be absolutely no defense played, but both teams would shoot 65%, and they just run up and down the court. It's like that, but the boxing version of that. He's not a particularly good fighter. I mean, look, it takes a lot of skill to fight on the inside. When you're fighting on the inside, you're susceptible to every punch pretty much except for the jab. Hooks, body shots, hooks to the head, straight rights, uppercuts. Takes good head movement, good skills. But that's only one part of it, right? He landed one jab in the entire fight. He landed one jab. So he's not a jabber, and he's not a big puncher. And he's not overly athletic. So, what are we getting? What are we looking at here? If he did, imagine if he got hit by Hurd or Munguia. Come on, man. There's no movement, literally. And he's not a puncher, so there's no jab, there's no movement, and he's not a big puncher. So how's he going to win? I mean, the only way he can win is to beat these B-level fighters and C-level fighters. C-level fighters. He lost to a B-level fighter, soro-Karass. So the only way is to fight these lower-level guys and just swarm them and just overwhelm them. I think we will see him fight again, but it won't be anything serious. The problem, there's a following, so we will see him on undercards and things like that. The only problem I see is who's going to want to fight him? Seriously. If you're an up-and-coming prospect at 154, would you want to fight this kid? You know what I'm saying? It's like playing basketball with a kid that just doesn't stop moving. Right? It runs around the court. It's not that he's not good. It's just that just give me someone else. I don't want to guard him. I don't want to fight Neeco. It's not that I can't beat him. It's just that this is ridiculous. His relentlessness. So I can't see him being used as a tune-up. As a step-up fight too often. But maybe, he'll just fight these veterans, these soro-Karass. Maybe have him fight Sam Eggington. I don't know who's that. Margarito. There's a fight. Have him fight Margarito. See how he does. Carson Jones. Guys like that. Put it on an undercard. People will watch it. It's an entertaining scrap. I'm actually going to call for that fight. Neeco versus Margarito. Come on. Both guys have fought a ton in California. Bring them out. Have them both fight in California. That's ESPN's next card. Margarito. Well, ESPN's done, but on the zone. Eddie, make this fight. Antonio Margarito versus Neeco Macias on the zone as part of the Golden Boy thing. I'm going to call for that fight. Last thing we're going to get to, Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence is official March 16th at AT&T Stadium, otherwise known as Jerry World. Again, I am completely against this fight. I have no interest in this fight. I will watch it. I probably won't, I'll go there. I'll cover it as media. So that's cool. But again, there's no reason for this fight. There are plenty of fights at 135 for Mikey, and there are plenty of fights at 147 for Errol Spence. Those are two excellent divisions. I would like to have seen Errol Spence fight any of those names at 147. I know that the top names aren't available, but if you want to take a fight, Ugas has earned a shot. Jesse Vargas has earned a shot. Fight Adrian Broner. There's a name. And I know Mikey beat Broner, but, there are names there at 47 that you could fight. And for Mikey Garcia, the fight with Richard Comey wasn't going to be spectacular. Mikey would have won, but it's a good fight. It's a meaningless scrap. Comey's a good fight at 135. I think outside, first of all, Comey would lose to Vasyl Lomachenko, but Comey would give him a good fight. Comey's an excellent fighter. And I think outside of that, now if Mikey's done at 35, which he could be, he wants to just take these kind of fights. I think Comey is the next best fighter at 135. So, again, I thought Comey beat Easter. I thought he beat him easily. He didn't get the decision. As fighters from Ghana just never get the decision, right? Claudio versus Oscar. Claudio versus Cotto and Corte versus Oscar. They just don't. And Corte, I think it was Vernon Forrest too. He just got robbed. So something, I don't know. If it's just because they don't have a big natural fan base. If stylistically the judges just don't like him. But if you're from Ghana, you're probably going to get the short end of a decision in the United States. But I'm a big Comey fan. I thought that was a good fight. Clean out 135. And Comey is one of those elite names at 135, so go beat him. I'm just not a fan of these. How many times do we have to watch Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Vasyl Lomachenko? Brook versus Triple G? How many times do we have to watch that? Canelo versus Khan? Until we know that it doesn't work. Right? There's weight classes for a reason. Fight the guys at your own weight class, especially when you're in a loaded division like welterweight and lightweight. Go fight Linares if you're Mikey. Right, there are names out there, but I would have liked the Comey fight. And for Errol Spence, you know, again, you're not getting Keith Thurman right now. You're not getting Garcia or Porter. Go take the next best fight out there. Again, like you did it with Peterson. You took your mandatory. There are names out there. You know, go fight those guys. Now, this is also going to be an AT&T Stadium, and I want to get into that because I want to compare it to something. Pacquiao versus Margarito was at AT&T Stadium, if you remember that. So was Canelo versus Smith. But I want to compare it to the Pacquiao fight for just a moment, right? Because Pacquiao, Spence is not the star that Pacquiao is. Even in Dallas, Pacquiao was a huge, massive crossover superstar. Errol Spence isn't. You know, a lot of fans, you know, casual sports fans in Dallas aren't even familiar with who Errol Spence is. You know, hardcore sports fans and boxing fans obviously know who he is. But, you know, it's not weird that someone in Dallas, a casual Cowboys fan and Longhorns fan, doesn't know who Errol Spence is. You know, boxing doesn't have that kind of appeal. You know, the 12,000, 14,000, the 12,000 that he did at the Star was great. That was a great night of boxing. But he doesn't have that kind of appeal. And as far as bringing the Mexican fan base in, Margarito was a far bigger name circa 2010 than Mikey Garcia is now. Margarito was a circus act that people still love to see, but this was in 2010. He was off the Mosley fight. He beat Robert Garcia in the interim, not Mikey's trainer. I know that's confusing. Just another dude named Robert Garcia who's a decent fighter. He gave us a fight of the year with Paul Williams. He gave us a fight of the year with Miguel Cotto. Every time that Margarito stepped, he knocked Sebastian Lujan's ear off. Every time Margarito stepped in the ring, it was an entertaining fight. It was a fight of the year title. It was a great fight. Then moving on to Pacquiao. Pacquiao was this middle of Pacquiao. Man, he was fighting this guy that was massively bigger than him. I mean, the size difference was insane. And it was just, there was an appeal to that fight. This fight, it just, no one thinks Mikey's going to win. Mikey's not going to win. Spencer's going to knock, and this is not because I'm a Texas guy, right? There's a Texas connection to both of these guys. Mikey sells really well in Texas. So it's not me being a cheerleader fanboy for Spence because he's from Dallas. It's just being real. Spencer's going to beat the dog snot out of him. I think it's competitive for 3 or 4 rounds, and then Spence puts a beating on him because he's so much bigger. It's the only reason why I picked Spence to win is because he's 2 weight classes bigger. You know, look, Mikey comes up from 126. You know what I'm saying? Like, Spencer's going to fall up to be 154, right? So, I mean, there's realistically probably 20 pounds difference in what these guys weigh. You know, they say Spencer comes down from 175 to make 47. You know, what do you think Mikey walks around at? 150? You see what I'm saying? It's just, the weight class is for a reason, man. And this is not going to sell out the arena, right? So, look, Pacquiao and Margarito did about 50 to 55,000 fans. The place holds 100,000, so this sold out only, Pacquiao and Margarito only sold out about half the arena. If this does 30, I think it's a success. I think it can do 30, and it depends on what they want to do. If they want to sell $10 tickets, then you can sell a bunch of tickets, $20 tickets, and just fill the place up. You can do that. But it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to put it in here because you're not going to sell it out. The most you're going to get is 35,000 fans in a venue that holds 100,000. Why not put it in the American Airlines Center where you can get 20,000 fans? I don't know. If you've ever been to an event that holds 100,000, there's only 30,000 people there, it looks bad. And this is a fight that's on pay-per-view. That's going to bomb on pay-per-view. It's going to bomb on pay-per-view. And then it's going to bomb in the venue, too. So it's like, this is not a great look. This is not a great look. If you're looking for negotiating power, that you're a pay-per-view star, that you're a big draw, a big sell, when it comes to negotiating with Porter or Thurman or Crawford, this ain't going to help. I'm telling you that right now. Is this a cash out for Mikey? No, it's not a cash out for Mikey. But it could end up being like that. Meaning, no, Mikey thinks he's going to win. Mikey's taking this fight to go fight the next best guy. I don't know who he wants to fight next. Maybe Canelo, maybe Deontay Wilder. I don't know what Mikey Garcia wants to do. Right? I'm joking about that, but like I'm not. But this is not Mikey cashing out saying, I'm going to take this pay-per-view fight, get a big payday, and if I get destroyed, I get destroyed, but I'm done boxing. No, this is not that, but it could end up being that, right? Spence could beat him up and break his face so bad that he's never the same after this, and I'm serious about that. That's why, like, if he was fighting Pacquiao, it's like, okay, but Spence If Pacquiao beat Mikey Garcia would lose. If Spence beats you, he beats the snot out of you. Like, it's not the same thing. So, again, this is not a cash-out fight for Mikey. This is a fight that Mikey thinks is going to win and is going to propel him to superstardom, except it's not going to play out that way. The other thing I want to address is this a duck? Is Mikey Garcia ducking Vasyl Lomachenko by fighting Spence? Because like, there's a train of thought that goes like this. If he loses to Loma, then he'll never get a Spence fight. If he loses to Spence, he can still get Loma, right? Because he still has his belt at 135. And so what? Who would be mad because he lost to a guy 2 weight classes bigger than him? You know, I wouldn't hold that loss against him, but it would damage him. Is it a duck? No, it's never a duck when you fight a better fighter, a more challenging fighter for more money. It's just not a duck. That being said, I'd rather see him fight Lomachenko because that's at least that's a real fight. But let me know what you guys think. Is it a duck? Is this a cash out for Mikey? I don't think it's either one. Do you think that this? How do you think this thing does in a venue that holds 100,000 fans? Leave your thoughts, comments below. For Friday, check hook. This is 3D Boxing signing off, saying thank you and God bless.
Enjoy 3D Boxing vlog videos? Show us some love by clicking the like button. Don't miss a tweet, post, story, or video. 3dboxingvlog.com is also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hit the subscribe button now to stay inside the ring.